In the late 90s, Sony's PlayStation was kicking ass as the new kid on the block. Never mind, that's an 80s joke. As Sony's first video game console exploded onto the scene, and with the huge library of successful games that followed, you'd think they'd have no problem crowning themselves a mascot as the face of PlayStation. Though, the truth is, Sony never really wanted a mascot, and to this day, they still don't have one. It's not like what Mario was to Nintendo or what Sonic was to Sega, though the prime yet unofficial but generally accepted possible candidate at the time was Crash Bandicoot, appearing in posters, promos, magazines, and whatever the hell this is. During the height of Crash's popularity, a toy company known as Resaurus was producing action figures for plenty of big-name IPs, such as Sonic, Street Fighter, Speed Racer, Duke Nukem, Gex, and the reason I'm talking about it, Crash Bandicoot. Most of the characters had their likenesses immortalized in vinyl. Cortex, Engine, Tiny, Komodo Mo, Coco, and of course Crash himself amongst others. The few such as Nitrous Brio, Ripperoo, and Pinstripe were drafted, but never produced. Though unreleased prototypes of a medieval Tiny and Dingodile variation did, at least at one point, exist. I recall seeing these things all over the place back in the day, Funkoland and KB Toys being the ones I remember the most. Sure, they weren't everywhere, but I really don't think they were in short supply by any means. I believe I remember it quite vividly. When I was a kid, I probably had every single one of these damn things at one point. I begged for them when I saw them, and I probably went through dozens of them. The simple fact was, they were made out of cheap Chinese shit. And if you got any kind of vigorous with them, and I mean to the extent of, I don't know, a kid playing with a goddamn toy, they would explode. Arms would snap, heads would roll, bits would fall or break off here and there. They didn't hold together very well at all. But at the time, I didn't think it mattered. I mean, I could just cry in bits for another one. They were pretty readily available, but soon enough, they all abruptly vanished. The Resaurus company had to close up shop and call it a day in the early 2000s. Former employees went on to start Plan B Toys, and production of the Crash figures had ceased within a year or two from when they first hit shelves. The combination of these two facts mean that these things are nearly impossible to find today. And if you do manage to come across them on eBay or something, chances are the seller is asking for some stupid, insane, outrageous, goddamn, what the hell are you thinking prices. I mean, look at this shit. Ain't no one gonna pay this. Only a no good dummy would. Well, you know, I'm at that age now where I make my own money. I have a little bit of disposable cash, and I could probably take better care of things these days, and, you know, I remember these things from my childhood, so, you know, I decided, what the hell, I bought one. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent, but I will say it's one of Coco, and she's usually the cheapest one to get because she sucks. Either way, I'm not going to be taking this thing out of the original packaging or anything. I just want to keep it nice as a little bit of memorabilia from those days where you can still go into a store and see these things on the shelves. So there's no real worry about it getting messed up or anything. So with all that said, what do you say we take a look at it?